Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Shakira Ramblay, and we have to talk about last year what I did. So last year I launched a video called How to Land a Job in Media, and it did extremely well. Until this day, people hit me up all the time asking me, just how do you get that first gig? But I have some good news. Recently, I started a podcast with HuffPost called And That's That. And basically, I wanted to share with you all just how do you start a podcast from point A to point Z. So that's what we're here to do today. Let's talk about it. So the podcast, like I said, is named And That's That. And basically, it's a podcast that's a living room. It's a cookout. It's basically where Black people can meet to have a good time, to laugh, to learn something, and sometimes even have intellectual debate.
You a Meg fan?
I'm a Meg stan. She's of course on the Bad Bitch playlist. And with that being said, it's crazy that it's been basically almost going on 2 years, and this woman has just keep going, you know? And I don't know if it's just a Houston woman, because, you know, Beyonce's from Houston, Solange's from Houston. I don't know if just like women from Texas are made differently, but it's just inspiring to see the whirlwind of a career that she's had so far, despite challenges, despite being shot, despite losing her mother, who was a rapper also, her best friend and her greatest inspiration. She consistently is showing that women can come together, we can all win and eat at this table together and do so beautifully. So the number one tip that I'm gonna give you is when coming up with any creative project, you need an elevator pitch. You should be able to explain the project to me in less than 30 seconds. Like I just said to you. And that's that is a podcast, that's a living room, it's a cookout, it's a place where all Black people feel welcome to have different conversations. Number two, you definitely need uniqueness. So I know there's thousands and thousands of podcasts out there that talks about the Black experience. We have Still Processing, we have The Read, but what makes And That's That special is we want it to be the healthy middle ground. If you're reading the New York Times or CNN or Washington Post and it's going over your head, or you're reading the Shade Room and you want more meat, we are the place that you come to. So what makes you stand out? What makes you special? I don't care if you're talking about sex, I don't care if you're talking about LGBTQ stuff, Black sisterhood. You have to find that one thing that makes me want to find community in you, and that makes me want to come to you every single week, every single month, or whatever your consistency or frequency level is. You have to know that it's a lot of work. Thank God I work at a corporation, so we have a whole team behind this project. However, you might not have that. So therefore, you have to think about who's editing the podcast, who's coming up with the ideas. You have to think about how you're gonna be consistent. You do not wanna launch a brand or product that's gonna be on, off, on, off, on, off, or people are not gonna take you seriously. I've been there. Trust me, you don't wanna do that. Believe it or not, but the hardest part of And That's That was coming up with the name. So you want a name that's catchy, and trust me, every damn good name in the book is almost taken. But you want something that feels like your brand, and when people hear it, they're like, ah, you know what I mean? I don't want to brag, but And That's That is hot. So you want something that feels good, something that feels like you, and something that's creative, something that's different. Not something cheesy or corny like Hot Kitty Podcast. It's just, you know, something that's you and something that's authentic. And lastly, you want to practice. I could keep going with practice, but practice. So a lot of times people hear a podcast and think that people just go on air and just start talking and yapping. And I'm sure some people do that, but no, you're different. You want to be serious. You want to be smart. You want to be entertaining. You want to show your listeners, even if it's one listener, that you care about them and that you're committed to delivering a damn good show. So therefore, listen to yourself speak, record how you speak, ask your friends to engage in conversations with you just to see how you're doing, because trust me, talking for a living ain't easy. It's challenging. I hope that these tips resonate with you, and if you start a podcast, please tag me to it. I want to hear it. I want to see what it sounds like. But in the meantime, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so and check out the rest of the content on this page. Thank you so much for listening, and start that podcast. I'm waiting on it.